This is the solution to the exercise in Lesson 6. The instructions are to create the customer information form that we created back in lesson number 4, but this time what we're going to do is only modify the controls and move them around and set their properties using code in runtime rather than using the form designer and the properties window. So in order to do this, let's first of all start off by creating a new project. And we're going to make sure project type would be Visual C# Projects. Templates, we'll select Windows Application, and we want to type in Lesson 06 Exercise. So the next thing is to use our toolbox. I'm going to pin the toolbox down and start dragging and dropping items from our toolbox under our designer form. Just put them anywhere. I'm just going to start lining them up here. I think we only need 4 labels. We're going to need a text box. We're going to need a couple of radio buttons. We're going to need a combo box. Let's see, where are you? Okay, there you go, combo box. We're going to need a list box. We're going to need a checkbox. And we're going to need a couple of buttons. Okay, so randomly strewn about on the form. Let's make our form big enough so that we can accommodate the correct sizes and locations for all of these. Now the instructions also say that the only thing that we can use the properties window for is to change the name of the controls. Everything else has to be done purely in code. So let's go ahead and go through the exercise of renaming all of these. Whoops. I almost violated my first rule here. I'm trying to name it, not set its text property. It's a common mistake. Okay, so here we go. LBL gender. And I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to pause the recording of the video so you don't have to painfully watch me, but we'll review the names of each of the objects here. And after a few minutes, I have now named all of my labels. LBL first name, gender, interested in, city. I have renamed my text box to TXT first name, my radio buttons to rad male and rad female, my combo box to CBO city, my list to LST interested in, my checkbox to CHK saw our ad, and then our buttons are BTN cancel and BTN OK. So the next step is to get into the code view and to start writing the code to position each of the controls and to set their initial properties. And because this can take a very long time, I'm going to go ahead again and pause the recording and then complete all the code, and then we'll review what I've done. Okay, so after about a half hour of coding, this is what I've come up with. First of all, I will let you take a look at the source code that's included in the zip file for this video to see some of the specifics for all the items that that we manipulated in runtime using the properties in our code. But as you can see, what I've done here is start out with a jumbled mess, and when we actually run the application, the code in the form load event changes everything around, sets the tab order, adds items to the list box and the combo, even make sure that our checkbox is checked and one of the radio buttons is checked as well. And there's just 2 small things that I want you to be aware of, and that is that whenever we're trying to change the label of our form, you'll notice that I use the word this. This refers to the class name, in this case Form 1. If we try to put just Form 1, it would not work. That would work in VisualBasic.net. The second gotcha that I'd like to make you aware of is actually whenever you try to add items to both the list box and to the combo, you want to do the name of the object, in this case lstinterestedin.items.add. That's something that we haven't talked about before. And then also had to set the selection mode equal to multi-simple, Now that was just kind of me being fancy. I guess you really didn't need to do that, but I decided to do that so they could select multiple items from that list. And the final thing that I just wanted to name as far as gotcha is concerned are the use of the line separation characters. In this case, this is the semicolon, can't forget that. And then also, don't forget capitalization. A lowercase property name will not work. It has to be uppercase, and it has to match spelling exactly. And in this case, the case has to match both the T and the I in tab index. And those are the big things that you got to watch out for whenever you're developing in C#. So I hope this was helpful, and hope you got it pretty close. Good luck.